On May 20th, 2013, the city of Moore, Oklahoma, faced one of the most terrifying natural disasters in American history. A massive EF5 tornado was about to change thousands of lives forever. Within minutes, peaceful neighborhoods would be reduced to rubble. Families who had started the day like any other suddenly found themselves fighting for survival. But this disaster didn't happen without warning. To understand what happened that day, we first need to look at the dangerous weather conditions that had been building for days. During May 2013, the central United States experienced one of the most intense severe weather outbreaks in recent history. Powerful storms repeatedly swept across the Great Plains. On May 18th, the outbreak officially began. Tornadoes touched down across several states, destroying homes and leaving communities devastated. Oklahoma quickly became the center of concern after a violent EF4 tornado struck near Shawnee, proving that the atmosphere was capable of producing something even stronger. For the people of Moore, tornadoes were nothing new. The city had already survived two devastating tornadoes in 1999 and 2003. Despite those tragedies, Moore rebuilt every time. Families returned, businesses reopened, and life slowly moved forward with hope. By 2013, Moore had become a thriving community filled with schools, businesses, and thousands of families enjoying a normal life once again. On the morning of May 20th, students looked forward to graduation, children were excited for a summer vacation, and parents planned their day as usual. Meanwhile, nearly 90 miles west of the city, the atmosphere was rapidly becoming unstable. Meteorologists closely monitored every new weather update. Warm temperatures, rich moisture, and powerful wind shear combined to create the perfect environment for a violent supercell thunderstorm. Forecasters warned that central Oklahoma faced a significant risk of long-track violent tornadoes. Storm chasers also knew this day could become historic. As the afternoon progressed, thunderstorms rapidly developed along the dry line. One storm quickly separated from the others and began strengthening. That isolated supercell had everything it needed to become one of the most destructive tornado-producing storms ever recorded. Within minutes, it would begin its deadly journey toward Moore. By early afternoon, towering thunderstorms erupted across central Oklahoma. Among them, one isolated supercell began strengthening at an incredible pace, showing all the signs of becoming a dangerous tornado producer. Unlike the surrounding storms, this supercell remained undisturbed. It had unlimited warm, moist air feeding into it, allowing the storm to organize into a powerful rotating system. Meteorologists watched the radar carefully as the storm developed a classic supercell structure. Every new scan revealed stronger rotation, confirming that the situation was becoming increasingly dangerous. At around 2:40 p.m., the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning for Moore and nearby communities. Residents had only a short amount of time to prepare for what was coming. Earlier that day, Moore public schools had already taken precautions. After-school activities were canceled, buses were held back, and students remained inside school buildings under shelter protocols. Many parents, worried by the weather forecast, picked up their children before the storm arrived. However, hundreds of students and teachers still remained inside several schools across the city. Teachers calmly guided children into hallways and interior rooms, hoping the buildings would protect them. Everyone followed emergency procedures while waiting for the storm to pass. Unfortunately, later investigations revealed that thousands of residents never heard the tornado warnings. Closed windows, indoor noise, and other factors prevented some families from realizing the danger. Even among those who received the warning, not everyone immediately took shelter. Every passing minute became more valuable as the storm rapidly approached Moore. By 2:56 p.m., meteorologists saw a perfectly defined hook echo appear on radar. This was one of the strongest indicators that a violent tornado was already on the ground. The tornado had touched down near Newcastle, only a few miles west of Moore. Television stations interrupted all regular programming to provide continuous live coverage. Storm chasers reported the tornado growing larger with every minute. What first appeared to be a smaller tornado was quickly transforming into an enormous and destructive wedge tornado. Radar images now showed a massive debris signature, confirming that the tornado was causing severe destruction. Meteorologists knew more was directly in its path. Live cameras captured the tornado becoming wider and more violent as power flashes appeared across the horizon. The city was only moments away from a direct impact. Within minutes, the massive tornado reached the western edge of Moore. The most destructive phase of the disaster was about to begin, and thousands of lives were about to change forever. As the massive tornado entered Moore, emergency broadcasts became increasingly urgent. Meteorologists could clearly see that this was no ordinary tornado. It was rapidly strengthening into an extremely violent storm. The tornado crossed the western side of the city, destroying homes and businesses within seconds. Entire neighborhoods disappeared beneath clouds of dust, debris, and powerful winds. With winds exceeding 200 miles per hour, the tornado continued to grow. Buildings that had stood for decades were torn apart almost instantly as the storm moved deeper into Moore. One of the first major buildings in its path was Briarwood Elementary School. Inside, teachers and students remained in shelter positions, hoping the structure would withstand the storm. The tornado struck the school with devastating force. Large sections of the roof were ripped away, walls collapsed, and classrooms were reduced to piles of broken concrete and twisted metal. Despite the terrifying destruction, teachers protected their students with incredible courage. Rescue teams later found everyone inside Briarwood alive, making it one of the day's most remarkable survival stories. Leaving Briarwood behind, the tornado continued east and reached its maximum strength. Entire homes were swept completely from their foundations, leaving only bare concrete slabs behind. Trees were stripped of their bark, vehicles were thrown through the air, and entire streets became unrecognizable. The damage clearly showed that the tornado had reached EF5 intensity. As the storm pushed forward, it entered another residential neighborhood where families had taken shelter inside their homes, hoping they would survive the violent winds. Sadly, several homes were completely destroyed, and lives were lost as the tornado continued its relentless path through the heart of the community. Just minutes later, the tornado approached Plaza Towers Elementary School. Inside the building, children covered their heads while teachers tried to keep everyone calm. Outside, the roar of the tornado grew louder with every passing second. The tornado slammed directly into the school. The roof disappeared almost instantly, walls collapsed inward, and the building suffered catastrophic damage within moments. Teachers desperately shielded their students with their own bodies as debris filled the hallways. Their bravery saved many young lives during the most terrifying moments of the disaster. When the tornado finally moved beyond the school, rescue workers and parents rushed toward the destroyed building. A desperate search for trapped children and survivors immediately began. Rescue crews, firefighters, and desperate parents searched through the wreckage of Plaza Towers Elementary. Every second mattered as survivors trapped beneath the debris called out for help. Teachers refused to leave their students behind. Many used their bare hands to remove heavy debris, while first responders worked tirelessly to reach those still trapped inside. Although many children were rescued, the disaster claimed the lives of 7 young students. The heartbreaking loss left the entire community in mourning. As the tornado continued moving east, it struck a convenience store on Telephone Road. The building was completely destroyed within seconds, resulting in additional fatalities. Moments later, the storm slammed into Moore Medical Center. Windows shattered, walls were heavily damaged, and vehicles in the parking lot were tossed through the... Despite the severe damage, doctors, nurses, patients, and staff safely evacuated the hospital. It became one of the day's most remarkable survival stories. At its peak, the tornado measured nearly 1.3 miles wide, making it one of the largest and most powerful tornadoes ever recorded in Oklahoma. The violent storm tore through Moore's busy commercial district. Shops, restaurants, pharmacies, and businesses disappeared in moments as the tornado carved its path across the city. Storm chasers who had been filming the tornado realized the situation had become far more dangerous than expected. Their excitement quickly turned into fear as they witnessed the overwhelming destruction. The tornado struck large retail stores, including a Home Depot, where employees and customers sheltered together in reinforced back rooms, hoping the building would hold. When the storm finally passed, survivors stepped outside to find entire shopping centers reduced to rubble. Familiar landmarks had completely vanished. The tornado continued through farms and neighborhoods, killing livestock, uprooting massive trees, and flattening homes that had already been rebuilt after previous tornadoes. Families who had survived earlier disasters once again found themselves standing where their homes had once been, facing another unimaginable loss.